All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a great opportunity and a blessing to sit down with George and Emmy for Texas Casa Pina, right? Did I say that right? Casa Texasina. Sorry, guys. They all know I don't always do it right. They agreed to sit down and just let us have a good conversation and share with some of their experiences of being here early, many years ago in the Philippines, as well as now, and what they looked and done for their retirement. And so we've had that opportunity to come here today and do it. We thank George and Emmy for doing that. So we hope you enjoy this as much as we are enjoying getting to do it. So come along with us and enjoy the interview. Well, George and Emmy, thank you first of all for opening up your house, letting us come and see you today. Beautiful home. Just a couple quick questions. Now, you guys met here in the Philippines then?
Yes. Clark Air Base was actually my first base when I was in the military. And I met Emmy probably about 2 weeks after I got here. Her sister was dating my roommate, and she was chaperoning. So I met her then, and then a couple weeks later, my roommate invited me to a basketball game because he played basketball for the squadron, and her and her sister were there watching. So I just kept asking, "When's your next basketball game? When's your next basketball game?" I was persistent.
Had you guys planned on retiring and back in the Philippines then?
It was always kind of like actually almost as soon as we got married, it was like a pipe dream. Yeah. Like, we're gonna go retire back to the Philippines. Almost as soon as we got married, like, how fast can we get back there? How fast can we get back there? 30 years later, we're like, okay, now we can finally go back. But yeah, we had planned to come back here almost the whole time that we've been married. A lot of the reason was most of her family's here. I loved it. I was only here for a year, a little over a year when I was stationed here. I loved it. Enjoyed it. The people were nice. I love the food.
The culture,
The culture's good. It's very family oriented for the culture, and it really kind of draws you in.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. Still holds a lot for me. That was for me a lot of core values that I think disappeared back home in the sense, the family, the faith, how to take care of our mothers and fathers and grandparents. But, well, any advice and wisdom about if you're going to move here and build a home quickly? I know we can do a home blog.
Save a lot, save early.
Yeah.
We actually started planning ours probably about 15 years before we started.
Wow.
We bought the first 2 lots, 2004 time frame. It was actually about the time that her sister's house was getting blessed. That was 2 streets over. So we bought the first 2 lots then. We came back 5 years later, bought the back 2 lots, and paid just as much as we did for the front 2, and they're half the size. So yeah, plan early. Buy early if you can, even if you've got to do it little bits at a time. When it does come around to time to build,
always budget twice.
Budget double what you think it's going to cost. Budget double.
Wow.
Yes.
Just because there's going to be things that, that's not included in the price, or yeah, we don't do it that way, or just because sometimes here the price of the equipment is double what you're used to in the States or somewhere else.
Well, really not a lot of question. It was just we was talking about how we would give our recommendations for someone coming, and so I think it's important to know your financial capability, know your medical capability, your health, but thank you once again. We really appreciate you letting us come. Wonderful home, beautiful home.
Thank you so much for the house tour.
Even for lunches, it's nice. I think that's one of the things.
Thank you for the lunch.
We're gonna do it next time.
I think most expats need to experience and understand is you build friendships with everyone, but it's still nice to sit down with someone from the same faith, someone who's a retired veteran, a military veteran, or someone who's a police officer, whatever, your deal that gives you some camaraderie. I know Filipinos experience the same thing when they come to the U.S. You're outside of your culture. You still gotta hang on to that in some ways to make it comfortable. And if you can find that even place where you can meet on even ground with it makes a great experience. So once again, thank you guys for having us. We look forward to some more videos. And I'm looking forward to that video about the meeting and all and everything with the deal. I don't want to give away your deal, but yeah, we're going to put George on the spot there. But no, look forward to more videos. And I really want to say I enjoyed all the videos through on the house build. It's nice to see those things. It gives us all something to look at and oh boy, I never thought about that, or maybe I would have done it a different way, but we can see so many different variations and understand that not everything is done where you and I come from here or anywhere else. There's always a difference in understanding that and knowing it can make a lot easier to handle when you go through yourself. And I think that's what these vlogs do when we get to see like yourself and others that are doing the house builds online. You can see, okay, well that's understandable. So from start to finish, how long did it take from your planning stage and your arrival that you broke ground to finish the house, Jordan?
Let's see, from planning stages, like I said, we started back in 04. And as soon as we had the first 2 lots, that's when we started looking for floor plans to see what would fit on the lot with the building restrictions.
Right.
We do live in a subdivision, so they had a deed of restrictions, but we have to leave so many meters on the side and back, so many meters on the front. You can only go so high. There's all kinds of additional rules. So we started looking for floor plans that fit that. And actually, we ended up buying the floor plan online in the U.S., brought it over, and had an engineer out of Manila do the conversion. Because it had to go from, in the States we build sticks and bricks, we call it. So it's all wood construction with brick veneer. And we had to have that converted over to either hollow block. I would have loved to have had cast in place, but nobody in this area does it or was familiar with it at the time. And then once we got those plans converted, we had a basis for going, okay, this is how much we're going to need. And once we got that amount of money, then it was, okay, now we got to go look for an engineer, see how long it takes. The actual construction, though, was only, we were done in
12 months.
12 months, because we started, we broke ground the 14th of January in 2020. That lovely year where we ended up having so many other things
come along,
take up your time. And then we had a almost 3 month break just because COVID and we couldn't get back to work. But when the guys did get back to work, it went fairly smooth. We were done. We finished in February of 21, so we've been living in the house for about a year and a half now.
Well, one question I was going to ask you, I always get, you and I are a little bit different. We've came to the Philippines before. We've been here probably several times, being married and coming in and out, right? What advice do you have for someone, especially if they haven't been to the Philippines before, they're going to come, they're going to either marry, getting married. What do you recommend? Do you recommend them to set a house right away, take a little time, look around? What's some of your advice, George? Just see
if they haven't been married, if they haven't been here before, it's first exposure. Recommendation would be, come over and on a tourist visa and stay for at least a month, maybe definitely in a hotel or something to where you've got time to get out and enjoy the environment. Stay away from the nightlife if you really want to see what the real lifestyle is, what the real culture is.
Exactly.
You can enjoy that when you can, just to
Mix it.
just to blow off steam and whatever. But, at some point you need to see what the real culture is, and you're not going to find that in that environment. Try that out for a first month or so. Do an extension on the visa. Stay for 2 months if you really like it. If you find that you really like it, there are options where you can do like if you're of age, you got the SRRV. It's a special retirees resident visa, where you put down a deposit, go through the process, and you get a permanent visa, and you're able to stay here on your own.
Yeah.
After that, if you, like I said, that's one option, way to go. If you find somebody that you like, you want to stick around, take time to get to know the family. Like I said earlier, it's a family is a big thing here.
It is, and that's one of the things that we always run into, and I run into questions from not only the U.S. but other places, expats to be or whatever. I just tell them, don't come in and set down roots in one area right off the bat. You may dream about living on the ocean, have beachfront, and you get there and you find out you don't like it because the storms and all the things come along. Take time to look around, rent, don't, I tell them don't come and stay in Palawan at the resort because that's not what you're going to see. Immerse yourself in the culture, go out into the local areas and the barangay areas and barrios, what we call it, however you want to call it, and just have that opportunity to experience because that's where you're going to be. If you like the city, you may like the city, but you may not want to live in Manila. There's a lot of difference between living in LA and living in Manila, and you may say you really like the beach and come find out that is not where you want to be, right? So that's what I tell everybody. I think you and I both are much the same is take that opportunity to, because you can rent, you can move 90 days, 30 days, go see another area and come up with before you. George, Emily, once again, thank you guys so much for letting us be part of your day, your life today, sharing with us today. We had a wonderful time, and I'm sure everybody out there that's going to get to watch it will. It's a great opportunity to get to know you guys closer. Wonderful house.
Thank you.
Great friendship as a veteran. Once again, thank you for your service. And yours, because I know you did government contracting.
Yes.
And that's not an easy job.
Yeah.
So, everybody, once again, thank you for coming and joining along with us. Remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. And we'll see you next time. Bye.